welcome to. You know what? I really gotta fix that. But for now, welcome back. So this one, because all these couples are married. So somebody will get the message. This one is called. What's this movie called? It's called The Gift. So, anyways, The Gift. Jason Bateman is in it. I forgot the guy's name, but his character is called Gordo, and Jason Bateman's character calls him Gordo the Weirdo because that's the nickname they gave him in school, which is bullies are terrible, aren't they? His wife's name is Robin. It's almost like I'm looking at real life. Anyways, Robin. They moved from Chicago to somewhere in LA. Um, and well, I think it's a nice, cute suburban town. And then Gordo shows up. No, he doesn't show up. We're backtracking. He overhears the conversation at the store, recognizes his bully, and says, "Hey, we went to school together." And then he's like, "Oh, really? Oh, hey." And then he overhears their address. And instead of being a normal person, be like, "I'd like to see you a welcome basket," he shows up to their house like a weirdo, which it is weird because we haven't talked in 15 plus years. Why would you just randomly show up to my house? Anyways, so um Jason Bateman's character is actually turns out to actually legitimately be a bully still. He bullies his wife into doing things. Um she like used to drink really heavy, so he's like, anyways, he shows up to their house, gives them koi fish, which are really pretty fish. They're like orange and white. They're like really expensive, really nice. I think they're Japanese fish. And he shows up with that and slowly but surely starts to overstep his bounds. In fact, I think his character's name is Nick too, but okay. Anyways, he starts to overstep his bounds slowly but surely. And Robin's being so super stupid nice to Gordo. It's like, can you not be so nice to him? Can't you see your husband is uncomfortable with this? But you're gonna continue it? Okay. All right. That makes sense. That tracks. And then, well, believe it or not, things go haywire. He keeps conveniently showing up when her husband isn't there, invites them over to his place. Turns out it's his boss's place. It's not actually his house. Gordo strikes me as one that lives in a one bedroom or a studio. So, yeah, like, what? And then Robin, I guess, eventually kind of gets the creeps, but like at the same time, doesn't get the creeps because she keeps entertaining him like way more than she should. And like a girl, this is not good. Why are you still entertaining him? Literally, why? So, like a couple months pass, months and months and months. Eventually, her husband shows up to Gordo's like comedy show, beats him up instead of being like, "Hey man, just stop coming around my house when my wife is just there by herself. It's weird and it's creepy and you're making us uncomfortable." He decides to beat him up. Instead of using his words, he uses his physical force, which is just kind of mean and kind of unrealistic because um I think it's Elderman. His last name's Elderman, I think. Is like 3 inches taller than him, or like 4 inches taller than him, but he's not a bully. However, he does get his lick back, kind of. He starts tormenting him. Um, one of Jason Bateman's coworkers ends up throwing a rock through their glass house because I don't know why you would live in a glass house. Hello, to the to the glass house because he's like, "What did you do? You like making up stuff that aren't true." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" Trying to act all confused. It's like you know what I'm talking about. Quit quit lying. So that happens. Robin has her kid, who, by the way, let's backtrack again. We don't know really who the father is. We don't really know who the father is. Okay, that's the scary part. she might have gotten drugged. She might have. That's the trippy part. She might have gotten drugged. Might have. We don't know if it's Jason Bateman's kid or if it's Gordo's kid because they couldn't have a kid. They were trying for months. Couldn't have a kid. Gordo put some type of date rape drug in her drink because she didn't just regular pass out. She grabbed a shirt and fell to the ground, passed out. And she like she finds out she's pregnant, and it's after months of not getting anywhere, not getting no type of hope or inclination that anything is going in their favor. Well, the audience has to think, well, this has to be Gordo's baby. Which, by the way, you don't get an inkling that it maybe is his until he's at the hospital, and he's like, "Oh, who does he look like?" So, anyways, um, so by the time the end of the movie comes, you know, Jason Bateman character, he's lost his job. His wife said, "Don't come back to the house." He don't know if the kid is actually his. It's really going downhill, but he'll survive. He'll be fine. But like he was such a bully. And that's why you shouldn't be a bully. You shouldn't be terrible to people. You shouldn't be terrible to your wife. You should actually be an upstanding human being. Because if you're like faltering in any way, shape, or form, it'll come back to bite you in the butt at some point in time. Yeah. Yeah. So don't be a bully. Be great to people, even when you don't feel like it. And you shouldn't have anyone trying to knock up your wife and pretend like they have a broken arm because his arm was in a sling. Gordo's arm was in a sling. He took it off at the end of the movie. If you want to watch it, it's on Tubi, and it may be on YouTube as well. I'm not really sure, but you should do that because that movie, just like Gone Girl, first time you watch it, trippy. Notice how the trippy ones I listed start with a G. Okay, does that mean anything? No. The writers just did a good job on Gone Girl and The Gift. Both good movies to watch, if you ask me. If you're looking for a good suspense thriller, who done it? Is this really it? Gone Girl and especially The Gift are where it's at. Personally, I saw both in theaters. Good time if you ask me. So anyways, stay tuned for more.